Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero, and welcome back to Showdown Quickies. So this time, unfortunately, we're going to try and use the Alola Raticate. I was hoping this thing would actually be pretty interesting because the dark type being is cool, has thick fat. Unfortunately, they went with making this thing sort of a bulky type of Pokemon, and not even like the good kind of bulk. Because the thing with the normal Raticate is that it had a sort of nice little niche in that it had guts, you could put on a flame orb with it, it had facade. You know, it could do some decent damage, and you know, it had like this nice little niche lower tier kind of thing that you could do with it, so it was really cool. Unfortunately, it completely lost that now that it has thick fat, and it lost its attack stat and also its speed stat. Instead, they gave it some HP and some defenses, but they're all mediocre, so there's not really much that you can really do with this thing. So I sort of came up with this sort of useless gimmicky set where it's got max HP, I think max special defense, big fat, super fang, U-turn, crunch, and sucker punch. You got the super fang because obviously this thing isn't going to do any damage. Hopefully, because if I would hit the thing with super fang, cut its HP in half. You got the sucker punch as sort of utility for priority move, crunch. I don't know why I said fang. Crunch for stab, and then the U-turn just to kind of switch out. I thought maybe he would partner well with maybe the Decidueye, you know, switch in, use Spirit Shackle, lock the Pokemon in that has already half HP, and definitely kill it, but that's just really ridiculous, and obviously it won't work out that way. Aside from that, I just kind of threw a couple of Pokemon in. I have also the Stoutland to sort of back him up. Just so that it can, after it lowers a bunch of Pokemon's HP, it can come in to retaliate. Let's say the Raticate dies or someone else dies, you just come in with the Choice Band to retaliate, completely destroy whatever Pokemon it is doing. It should mostly doing at least half damage. And I also have the two Ghost types in Decidueye and also Gengar to back up all these normal types from fighting type moves. I have the Gyarados to back up the Gengar. They both play their own roles as one speedy special attacker, the other one is set up physical attacker, and then Lakion Rock usual. So my opponent here is a pretty interesting team here. It doesn't really seem to have much of a solid lead that I would think of. Maybe either the Arachnoid, I believe that thing is called. Yeah, the Arachnoid. And then there's the Porygon 2. I figured one of these two would start off. He might even start off with a Mudslide, just to kind of fuck me up. Not really sure what it would go on here. We also have two similar Pokemon, which is pretty interesting. But let's go ahead and see how this goes. It starts with the Mudslide, actually, and I go into my mistake. He Eradicate. Get the hell out of here, because I don't want to boost that thing up. Hits me with a superpower, does no damage, because I'm a Ghost type. I switch again, going to my edgy Clef here. He actually switches into his Porygon and gets him boosted his attack, which is good because I don't think that's what he's actually going for. Hits me with an Ice Beam. I hit that, get him with a Sludge Bomb, do a bunch of damage. Finish that thing off with another Sludge Bomb, which is great. Actually goes into his own Gengar. Didn't want to try and see which one was faster. Going to my Stoutland here, hits me with a Shadow Ball, doesn't do any damage because I'm obviously immune. Goes into the Mudslide, hitting with a Crunch, doesn't do it does a good amount of damage giving it Mudslide's bulk, but it gives it the stamina, which boosts it up. Going into my Gyarados here, lowers attack. After that, Heavy Slam doesn't do too much damage. I go into here, use my Dragon Dance. Thankfully, after the body slam, it doesn't paralyze me. I hit the thing with an Aqua Tail, completely obliterate that Mudscale. Bring my HP pretty low after the freaking Life Orb. He goes into the Gengar, is still faster than me after the Dragon Dance, finishing me off with a Thunderbolt. Going to my own, we're at the same amount of HP. And then he switches out, go into his Arachnid. I go and hit the thing with a Crunch, do a good amount of damage. Hits me with a Lunge, does a shit ton of damage. I'm thinking, well, ow. Going to a U-turn, figuring he's going to use another Lunge. Going to my my edgy Clef here, goes into the Leech Line, doesn't do too much damage. I figure I'm faster than the thing and I should be able to kill it off, but I actually don't go for the Thunderbolt. Finishes it, leaves it off with 2 HP, it finishes me off with a Liquidation. Managed to disable that because apparently Gengar needed a nerf, not have Levitate and has Curse Body instead exclusively. I go into Lakion Rock, hit that thing with a Stealth Rock, finish that thing off. Actually goes here into the Gyarados. I unfortunately missed the Stone Edge, which made me so fucking angry. And then this thing here goes into Mega Gyarados, hitting with a Stone Edge only does 25, which I'm like, well, shit on my face. And then after that, hits me with a Waterfall, survive with the freaking Focus Slash, Focus Slash. Focus Slash, hit that thing with a Stone Edge, get a crit, it does 60 damage this time around, which is really cool. But then I hit it in Cell Rock, don't finish it off. After that, I go into the fucking Alola Raticate, going for the Sucker Punch to finish it off, so boom! You can actually do decent damage to Marowak too, as it does 40%. I hit that thing with a Crunch, it goes into Substitute. I lower his defense, thankfully, it goes into... going to another Crunch, hits me with a Fair Blitz, which finishes me off even though I have Thick Fat, because obviously Alola Raticate is complete garbage. Then I go into my Bird version here, finish that thing off with Spirit Shackles, obviously because I'm faster. He goes into his Gengar here, poisons me unfortunately with the Sludge Bomb, but I go for another Spirit Shackle and finish that thing off, even though it was disabled in the end. It doesn't matter. Stay fresh.
He moves onward without pause until the day he completes his great quest.